Christie Webb and John Ackerman each have 5 minutes to speak. Someone's going to do a coin toss. Who gets to go first?
You guys ready? We'll do a coin toss. Okay. Christie, since you're new, would you like to call it?
Heads.
Heads. Would you tell them what it is, sir? Is that heads or tails? I don't see it. Tails. Okay, so John, you go first. At 5 minutes, I will have a stopwatch.
Okay. Thank you, John.
How is everybody this evening? I want to follow off of his remarks real quick. My favorite of the Founding Fathers is Ben Franklin. Ben Franklin, a lot of people believe, was a Quaker. He was a member of the Quaker Church, but what a lot of people have forgotten was Ben Franklin was on the building committee of every church built in Philadelphia, no matter what the denomination, during his lifetime in Philadelphia. At his death, the Jewish representative, the Catholic, the Orthodox, the Methodist, the Quaker, they all held hands at the front of his procession for his funeral. His additions to the Declaration of Independence, Thomas Jefferson wrote it, presented it, then Franklin went through and said, no, 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 some of these need to be changed. He added these words. We hold these truths, that was already there, he crossed out and put, to be self-evident, that all men were created equal, and then he added, they are endowed with, by their Creator with these rights. I think when we hear that our Founding Fathers weren't religious, and we heard a lot about the Creator's name being mentioned, right there it was, and those were the Founding Fathers in writing. I'm here tonight because I'm running for Tazewell County Clerk. I appreciate this opportunity to speak to you guys again. I'm no stranger to you. I've been in meetings before many times, spoke many times, answered many of Dale's questions when he's asked them. Today I presented my strategic plan for Tazewell County Clerk. You all have a copy of it, I handed it to you. And that's what really I wanted to talk with you about tonight. Dan DiOrio was on the radio today talking about one of the shortcomings of government is that we don't make plans. Private industry, private businesses, they're constantly developing strategic plans to know how they're going to grow, strengthen, and improve their business. In government, unless the individual's challenged, we don't see that necessarily all the time. That's what I'm presenting with my strategic plan. The county board last year asked all of the department heads, all of the elected officials to draw up their own strategic plan. They did. We presented it in one big book, our 2014 strategic plan. My opponent had 4 items on there. 3 of them I agree with. They're listed on there and highlighted in pink. I agree with those 100%. There were a lot of items that were missing. That's what my 19-point strategic plan fills in. A couple of the differences. I've left it there so that you guys can read through it and review it. I'll answer any questions concerning it now or in the future. You've got my contact information to get a hold of me. But a couple of the key things that were missing. Earlier this year you had as a speaker the head of the Illinois Policy Institute. After he spoke at your event, he sent his gentleman, Brian Costin, over to meet with me and reviewed my goals for transparency, which are listed in there. And I asked them, will this improve Tazewell County's scoring with you? Yes, absolutely they would. As a matter of fact, this is the type of thing that they were looking to have accomplished. Currently our score is 46 out of 100. We're 23rd in the state of Illinois, which is fantastic when you figure that just a few years ago we were the worst in the state of Illinois. We've now risen to be the point of 23rd. But 46 out of 100 when I went to school is an F. It's failing. That's not satisfactory. How do we make up the gap? Several of those points in there is how we're going to make up that shortcoming. It's interesting to note that in the strategic plans for the auditor, for the state's attorney, for the IT department, improving transparency was stated as part of their strategic goals for the next couple of years. It was missing from the county clerks. That's something I will change. Another thing that is in there is improving our tax extension process. In the last 3 years, we've lost over $35,000 because of mistakes made by the county clerk's office in the tax extinction process. I have proposals that will fix that will help reduce that risk and reduce the chance of these unacceptable mistakes happening again. Another thing that you'll see in there is improvements to our elections division. We're very good at being accurate in our reporting of our election results. But as we all know from reading about our election division over the last several years, we're one of the worst in the state of Illinois in reporting them in a timely manner. The Journal-Star, Aiken Daily Times, other publications have printed this time and time again, and yet no resolution's been brought forward on how we're going to fix it. There's nothing in my opponent's strategic plan that addresses how we're going to fix it. I have items that have been proven in other counties to work in my strategic plan that I will be utilizing. There are other ones in there. Please take a look at them. Contact me. Let me know how I can be of assistance. Happy to answer any of your questions. Thank you.
Thank you, John. Next we'll have Christie Webb, the current clerk from the Tazewell County.
I just do not use the microphone, I just feel as comfortable up here. I am your Tazewell County clerk. I've been your Tazewell County clerk for the last 20 years. I've been accused of do nothing. I've been accused of not meeting with the credibility of leadership. I've been called a liar, and with that I take exception. We have come a long way in the last 20 years. When I first started there, board minutes were done on a typewriter. We did all the birth and death records by hand. Everything was by mail. All of that is automated now. There are many things on our website that weren't there 2 years ago, that is true. But understand this. Champaign County has a tax rate of 87 cents for the county general. Sangamon County, 47 cents. Tazewell, 16. We are very lean, we are very mean. We have the ability with 2 IT staff to do what we do. We do it in incremental. We do it positively, and we have the information there. May not be to John's liking, but it is there. Anything that you want to see. I've always maintained an open door policy, and what I promise you, what I pledge to you, is what I did 20 years ago and today. Honesty, integrity, and trustworthiness. Thank you. I'll be here to answer any questions.
Are there any questions for either of our candidates?
We'll do that. They have 5 minutes. We do more or rebuttal.
Oh, rebuttal.
John would be first.
I really don't have any rebuttal other than, you'll see in my strategic plan, the costs are laid out for this. For transparency, for sake, a lot of the items that I'm calling for improvements in transparency have no increase to our rate. All of the equipment's already purchased. The staff is there. The staff is a wonderful staff. It's just a matter of utilizing a new approach, a new idea on how we can deliver the information, an idea that's been proven to be working in other counties. So on the cost aspect, she is absolutely right. And it's a wonderful thing about Tazewell County is our tax rate is a lot lower. But the funding is there. The ability is there. We just need to start utilizing it.
Do you have anything?
Christie?
Unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, everything comes with a cost. Nothing is free. By trying to do more, you can't do it with less. The staff is there. It's a bare bones staff. You can't do it with what you have. I'm not saying that there can't be improvement, but we are a very frugal county, very proud to be in that situation. So we have to make the decision, is it worth the fight? Is it worth the equipment? Is it worth more tax dollars to provide these services? Or do we just do it as we can? That's all I have to say.
much about the county clerk office. So, you know, like how many people work there and just what are the key things that the office is responsible?
Be happy to do that. There are a staff of 16. We run the print shop. We now have the recorder's division. We have vital statistics. We have payroll, and we have elections. We do the birth and death records, which is all the vital records. We clerk the county board. We extend the taxes. We do the payroll. We run the elections. Another thing I want to say about elections, as far as being late, understand, Tazewell County is the 12th largest county in the state of Illinois. We will never match Mason. We will never match Peoria County because they don't have the volume of precincts that we do. Champaign County was about 25 minutes earlier than we were. They have 17 less precincts. Some of you folks are election judges. You know what it takes to finish up of an evening. You know how far some have to travel, all the way from Lioneer. We cannot complete until the information is in. We are striving to make it better. We are looking at other avenues, whether it be when this equipment has defaulted, it be other equipment. I choose not to modem. I think that's a very dangerous tool out in the county. I want the information to come in-house so we can count it there. If that means being a little late, I'm sorry, but it is accurate when it is done.
Thank you, Kristen.
I have a question. When the recorder of deeds office was transferred into the county clerk's office, I mean, the recorder of deed had a big job, and then that got transferred to your office. What kind of an impact did that make on your office?
Well, you have to understand, the staff came, blessed with a wonderful staff. You make it work. That's what you have to do. We still do the same recordings. We have moved forward in the recordings division. We now are online. The money we make from those subscriptions, we are saving in order to be able to digitize more records and put those online. So we are moving forward. We're not moving backward. One other thing I'd like to say, ICC, the issue with ICC. That's been brought up, hashed over, rehashed. Was there an error? There was an error. But this is also a gentleman who came to me when he said he was going to run and said, my constituents want me to use that against you. I won't. You know how I feel about you. It was a mistake. Now it's part of the strategic plan.
In response to that, I don't remember telling you I wanted to use that. That has been.
No, you told me you wouldn't use it.
Saying from the beginning. And it's an important item too because we didn't hear about this mistake from the county clerk's office. We heard about it from ICC. And when we asked the county clerk at the county board meeting what happened, what we heard was, we're not sure which office made the mistake.
That's not
But
true,
we're
John.
looking into it and we're going to take care of it. That involved the auditor, not the auditor, sorry, the assessor, and involved the treasurer, and involved others being associated with this. Now, later on it came out that the county treasurer had actually given a call before the tax bills went out, before this mistake was made, and said, this number can't be right. You need to take a look at this. This isn't the right number. The tax bills went out. They were wrong. They were wrong to the tune of $4 million. Luckily, the Tazewell County Board had it in our reserves to take it out and to use it to fix this problem. But then we turned around and we lost the revenue that would have brought us an interest. That's the $20,000, over $20,000 that we lost. These are the type of things that we're bringing forward. And it's not to place the blame, but it's to identify what are we going to do to correct this so that this doesn't happen again. And that's what we didn't hear last time. And here we are in 2014. And another incident with the tax extension process happened. This time it cost us $14,000. This time Tazewell County Board didn't step forward to fix it. The taxing bodies just took the loss, which amounts to the city of Pekin, the school district's losing over $10,000. Now, in the grand schemes of a huge budget, ours is 55 million, 10,000 might not be a big deal. But in the private business I worked for, if I lost $14,000, if I lost $20,000, you better believe, one, I better have an answer from my boss about what went wrong. And two, you better believe that there's gonna be a firm talking to me about how I'm gonna make sure that this never happens again. And we're gonna bring proposals forward that will fix that. That is what the strategic plan's brought up. Again, not to place blame, not to prosecute, but it's to sit there and it's to say we need to have answers on how we're going to fix this going forward. My approach is to be proactive. When the treasurer calls, I want to bring her into the office and I want to say, what's the mistake? How are we going to take care of this? When city officials send me information, I want to sit down with them and go over everything and make sure that number is accurate before we send it out. It's working, cooperating with other elected officials to make sure that we fix this. This is too much of a lost revenue stream to just dismiss.
Well,
Question? Yep.
First of all, the estimated loss was $12,000, not 20. There have been measures put in place to correct the issue. I was never asked one question by the board, nor by you, John, regarding that, ever. I dealt with the state's attorney's office, I dealt with the treasurer, I dealt with the county board. I was led by legal counsel, we did what we needed to do. Pure and simple. Error made, I take full responsibility for that. This year, not our error. The only thing that I could be accused of is trying to help the city of Pekin figure out how to change the issue. That was their error for not turning in the information. It is not the county clerk's responsibility to go out and chase enterprise zones or TIF information. That is the municipality. So I will not take responsibility for that. The city of Pekin said it was their error. We figured out a way to change it. No taxpayer lost anything. It was money that the schools would have not gotten anyway. It was $800 that the county wasn't entitled to because they didn't turn in the paper.
One quick correction. One quick correction. The question was fielded to you by the late Mel Stanford, and he responded at our county board meeting. His direct question was to, why did we have to hear about this from ICC, or what happened? And we were responding to his question from there. That's where I was taking the context on that. And that was at our county board meeting, and I wish Mel Stanford was here to testify to it, but it is something I think you know Mel worked with me on this, and it was a question that we did ask.
Any more questions?
Can I say something?
Yes, please.
I want to say something. I don't know you and I don't know you, but I will say this. I appreciate you not saying one word while he was talking, you were rude. Seriously, I'm being honest. You should have never said one word when he was talking. Never.
Correct.
That's,
You are correct.
And I don't know either one. That's all I'm saying. It's just from a perspective.
Any other questions?
How can we afford, I don't make a lot of money. Why was our taxes so high? Because of somebody's mistake. We got slammed 2 years in a row for paying high taxes. We shouldn't have to, we should determine with our income a low amount.
Understand. I'm not telling you that ICC's rate didn't increase because of the year. What I'm telling you is the rate the first year was decreased. You didn't pay it because we didn't charge it. So it was made up the second year. It was not over 2 years. The discussion was for over 2 years, and it was not over 2 years. It was over 1.
But we don't have it, the low people don't. The low income, we determine on the same amount every year.
The county board loaned the money to ICC so that they weren't shorted $4 million the first year.
Right.
And as you pointed out, that revenue had to be recovery.
Right.
So the tax rate did go up 1.5 times to recoup the revenue that wasn't collected for ICC the first year. And it's basically just kind of a loan principle. We loaned it, we had to refill our loan, and the obligation had to be done for the tax rate increasing to cover that. It was this solution that the county board that came up with, the county administrator came up with and presented that looked like it was the best for both parties considering what took place. Was it perfect? No, the perfect thing would have been if it hadn't happened, but it did. This was the solution that we presented. This is how we went about getting it done. And again, I think that's where it's at.
Okay, any other questions? Okay, I guess that's it for questions.